Life, colon, the hardest thing to have, full stop. That was the deep and meaningful heading. I haven't read this since I wrote this, which was in 2011, so I was in year 8. No, I didn't even write it in 2011. I wrote it in 2010, and then I edited it slightly in 2011, so I haven't read this since I started high school, and I don't want to read this, and it is 17 pages long currently. The thing is, I read it, I read a few sentences just to gauge where this went. It goes nowhere, by the way. I'm writing about myself, and I'm making myself sound awesome, but by the same token making me sound awful. I am a total bitch. So I guess we're gonna have to start at the beginning, which is named The Beginning, obviously. Yeah, it's very meta. First sentence. You know in books how they always start with one day or once upon a time? Well, I'm going to start with hi. So, hi. You see, I didn't start with hi. I started with a sentence about how I would start it, and then I didn't even start with hi, I started with so. Okay, so hi, my name is Melrose Stewart. I have one of those lives where everything looks perfect, but it isn't. Oh great. I'm here to set things right, to tell the truth about what happened in the past year. In only 1 year I've had a surprise phone call. No, I didn't know what the plot of it was gonna be. So I wrote this and then went, now I have to fulfill it. A phone call, an embarrassing humiliation, because a normal humiliation just isn't embarrassing enough. It's an embarrassing humiliation. I'm taking things to the next level. Tearing of the heart and a realizing of who I was and what I wanted to become. Full stop, space, comma, happy. Legitimately how it is done. And I'm gonna just totally ignore the fact that it says, and a realizing of who I was and what I wanted to become, because I don't want to have to address the fact that I thought this was actually a deep and meaningful thing. It all started about 1.5 years ago when I went to Fiji. It was a usual tropical holiday, believe me. It was all heat, sun, flowers, drinks, beach and pool. Well, when I say usual, I mean almost. And then it's going to get to the crazy bit. Is it dragons, magic, or is it a boy? When I was in Fiji, I met this guy called Sam Cook. It was a boy. It was a boy. I was... Now, knowing many people, you probably think we were together. I apologise, not really, but we were just friends. Ooh, the sass. Anyway, he lived in New Zealand, so it would have been tricky. I was 12. It would have been tricky because I was fucking 12. Well, we hanged around each other, we got to know each other. He found out what I looked like with a wet white shirt, and I got to know that he loved free breakfast. Yep, it definitely was a mutual relationship. That's an actual thing that happened. That's the sad thing. This is an actual person I met and an actual thing that happened. The rest of it's all bullshit, but this beginning actually happened. I was 12 and I met someone at Fiji and we just got on well. And I romanticized it in my head to put it in probably the best way I possibly could. And it rained while I was wearing a white singlet, which was embarrassing, and then he stole breakfast. It wasn't free, he stole it. And he was a great person, but there is always a problem with this sort of thing, isn't there? With a full stop and no punctuation, and is there? After I had spent 7 days at that hotel and 6 with him, I had to leave for the other side of Fiji, so we had to say goodbye. You might be wondering why I'm reading it in this voice, but believe me, this is how I read it in my head. Now, I have to say, it wasn't as emotional as I hoped for, but I gave him my details, my name, phone, email, and address, and I was off. Simple and easy. The easiest thing to say when pitching an idea to a board, but that is completely off topic. That is completely off topic and not even funny. I did miss him, and for a while I wish he would call. He was one of those people that are either too arrogant or too frightened oh my god, that are either too arrogant, so the wrong two, or too frightened to. So I stopped waiting for something I thought would never come. I know it's a short chapter, but it's not my fault the beginning isn't very exciting, but I think it will get better once you get further into the book. No, it doesn't. It doesn't get any better. I can tell you without having read it, it gets worse. It gets worse.